The holiday weekend is almost here, but this evening we celebrate our seniors and the next generation of athletes in Centennial Boys Lacrosse. I'm Mike Beaton, all by myself, talking to myself. That's Chaos Theory. And we've got coverage of high school boys lacrosse between Centennial and Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids, a Northwest Suburban Conference battle. One of our cat clashes, if you will, although I don't know how a co-op factors into that, but we're glad you can join us on North Metro TV for what should be an exciting regular season finale for both schools. Spring Lake Park coming off a big win yesterday over Champlain Park, winning 12-4. Their leading scorer, Blake Lewick, he boosted his total considerably in that victory over Champlain Park, scoring 8 goals, which was a season high. His previous best was 5 in the season opener against Andover. Blake Lewick has 6 hat tricks. Other players to keep an eye on as far as scoring is concerned, Owen Spencer, he has 24 goals and 16 assists. He leads the team in assists. Harrison Cobell, Henry Leff, and Tucker Anderson have also chipped in a few goals this season, but Blake Lewick, he's going to be the centerpiece of the Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids co-op. Centennial, they have the stronger record at 10-2. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids at 8-4. But for Centennial, they don't have a runaway score, if you will. They get it done by committee. They don't score as much as maybe some other teams do, but Sam Rodriguez, Roel Sherman, Noah Berger all have 20 goals entering this game. Rodriguez leads the team with 25. Isaiah Ward, Logan Adams, AJ Carls are a few others who have chipped in. Centennial also played yesterday in Northwest Suburban Conference competition, knocking off Robinson Armstrong 10-8. They had a close loss with Anoka 6-5, and then lost to Benone St. Margaret's, one of the perennials in boys lacrosse, 10-4. Those are the 2 losses on the column for Centennial. Everything else, all W's, including a close one with Matamidi, another team that's always in the mix. It's senior night and youth night for Centennial. This is the final regular season game for both teams, and I want to give my salutation to the youth organization. They put together a refreshment stand in the parking lot. Hot dogs, chips, Gatorade, cookies, all the classic barbecue staples. Perfect for Memorial Day weekend. We're underway, as you know, 12-minute quarters in boys lacrosse. And it's Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids with the first possession of the game. No shot clock, so you can take as much time as you like, and we will get names and numbers as we move along. Delayed centering pass, shot, score, and just like that, Spring Lake Park is on the board. Owen Spencer to Blake Lewick. The delayed centering pass pays off, and Owen Spencer picks up where he left off. I should say Blake Lewick and Owen Spencer too. Spencer does lead the team in assists, so they make the first strike. It's 1-0 Spring Lake Park. This is the only time these two teams meet, with Centennial and Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids in the giant Northwest Suburban Conference, and a small season. You only face your competition once. Spring Lake Park winning the face-off, and you see the SLP CR on the jersey, Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. We do see a few more co-ops in lacrosse, although the sport is growing. There is a laser one-hopper, another shot that goes off the post. It was Lewick at first, then Dean Rummaker. But a break for Centennial's goalie, Evan Lechner, who is coming into this game with a .565 save percentage, and now Centennial will get their first possession. No shot clock at this level, so you can take as much time as you need once you're across midfield to set up your offense. There is a time limit to get the ball past midfield. Doesn't come into play often. And Sammy Rodriguez dancing around the defense of Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. And Centennial will reset. No more than 6 to a side, as you know. Rodriguez again. Fires, that is long. That is ruled a shot on goal. And as you know, for a shot on goal, the team who is closest to the ball, if it goes out of bounds, maintains possession. So, Centennial will get another crack at it, hopefully. That pass is deflected and scooped up by Brol Sherman, the sophomore. That's number 6, Logan Adams, who tried to put a move. Ball went out of bounds, but that was ruled a shot on goal. So Centennial hangs on to it. Centennial 10-2, Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids 8-4. Section seating will take place over the weekend. I can't really tell you what's at stake. Data not up to date, but Brol Sherman is, as he fires a sidearm into the net to tie things up at 1 apiece. 8:42 left in the first quarter.
Scoring for Centennial and assistant number 2, Brol Sherman.
It is 1-1. Brol Sherman gets on the board unassisted. Sherman is one of the 20 goal scorers, one of the 3 coming into this game, and he picks up number 22 on the season. Sherman, the sophomore. And we'll have a few stories to share about the seniors when we get a break in the action. We're tied at 1. It's Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids who wins the face-off. It's Jack Harkis who dumps it off to Owen Spencer. Again, Spencer can influence the offense through his passing or his shot selection. That's number 48, Keegan Kondrowski. Henry Leff goes around, passes back to Spencer. Tries the wraparound move, and it goes out of bounds. Ruled a shot on goal. And as you might have noticed on the field, there are spare balls. Of course, with boys lacrosse, there is no running time unless the mercy rule comes into play. But it does keep the action flowing at a faster pace. I was at a game recently where that wasn't the case, and balls that went out of bounds ate up a lot of time off the clock. It was a girls lacrosse game, and that's going to be a violation. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids cross the midfield line. That's too many men. Centennial has it. They waste little time. Going in transition. Save. Shot. Rebound. Score. Isaiah Ward, his shot was initially rejected by number 12, Tommy Scramstad, but Ward got the rebound, and in this sport, sometimes the second opportunity is the golden one. Centennial with a 2-1 lead. Ward with his 11th goal of the year. Seeing a lot of high-flying action early. Spencer wins the face-off in stride. He will wait for help, though. And that goal by Ward was set up by the unforced error on Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. One of their defenders crossed the midfield line to get the loose ball, but There already was 6 on the offensive side. Spencer, shot saved by Lechner. Loose ball. Lewick throws one off balance, but that will give Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids a chance to reset. It almost hit the net. Off balance. Blake Lewick, the senior, he's got some moves, and he's got a cannon. And as you know, with a turf field, the balls carry on this surface. I did a game earlier this afternoon on a grass field, and in that environment, loose balls tend to die out, keeping them in bounds more frequently. One-timer. I believe someone from Centennial got a piece of it. Tucker Anderson on the attempt. Centennial will move the ball downfield. Both schools playing their 3rd game in about a week. For Centennial, they had a game Saturday and Wednesday. Spring Lake Park had games on Monday and Wednesday. So Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids on the more compressed stretch. We'll see how that affects the game. There's a wraparound move by Kellen Crumweed off the feed from Semi Rodriguez. It will stay Centennial ball. Weather's been cloudy throughout the day, but dry. It will turn summery tomorrow and through the weekend. Perfect timing, since Memorial Day is considered the unofficial start of summer. And for those of you wondering, summer, of course, doesn't start until June on the calendar, but June 21st, that is. Centering pass, oh, great look by Isaiah Ward. I believe he was set up by Sherman. It will stay Centennial ball. I was going to say June 21st, that is the Gregorian start. And June 1st is the start of meteorological summer. Spring Lake Park ball. I believe someone from Centennial crossed the midfield line. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids trying to move that ball in a hurry. We're seeing a lot of high-flying action in the first quarter. Here's Rodriguez. Dumps the ball to Logan Adams. And now Centennial will slow the pace. Rodriguez. Tough angle. Number 13, Dalen Silavong, stayed with him. Rodriguez couldn't get around him, but it stays Centennial ball. And with the rule that gives teams who is closest possession of the ball on a shot attempt, that provides incentive. No penalty call. There was a collision between number 14, Dean Romaker, and number 7, Kai Hermison. So a break for the Cougars. In one of our cat clashes. As you know, we like to cover all the cat clashes on North Metro TV, no matter the sport. Playing Centennial Spring Lake Park. If any of them play each other, there's a good chance we'll be there. And there's a good chance Rodriguez will be involved on the offense. He launches a sidearm that rips the net to give the Cougars a 3-1 lead. Rodriguez with his first goal of the game. Rodriguez with goal number 26 on the season. Now Spring Lake Park looking to move the ball downfield. That's not something you see often. An interception. Reese Littlefield taking off the pass from David Giebly. And a timeout is called. I believe Centennial called it. 2:41 left in the first quarter. They hold a 3-1 lead. As we noted, this is the final regular season game, but I can't tell you a whole lot about section seating because that information is not up to date at minnesotascores.net. So with that, let's share a few nuggets about the seniors, including Noah Berger, number 3. Favorite food is Chinese. His theme song, according to Coach John Beach, is Somebody to Love by Queen. Hidden talents. I have a great skill of continuing to hurt my ankles and back. That does not sound like a talent you want to have. He will continue his education and lacrosse career at Lindenwood University in St. Charles, Missouri. His words of advice to future players: work hard, keep your mouth shut, and make sure you always mess with Coach Beach. But try to keep your ankles and back intact if you can. Another player we'd like to highlight, Andrew Carls. His favorite food, Costco pizza. His theme song, Gasoline by Daddy Yankee. And his hidden talent, he can do a backflip. He plans to play junior hockey in New Mexico. We hope to share more tidbits about the seniors as we move along. We like to give them props. Since this is their send-off, it's 3-1. Centennial leads Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids in the first quarter. High school boys lacrosse on North Metro TV. And visit northmetrotv.com or follow us on social media. We'll have updates on postseason coverage for our spring sports teams. Softball and baseball, they're underway this week. Lacrosse will start their playoffs next week. Spring Lake Park takes over after Centennial turns it over. It was Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids who got on the board quickly. Owen Spencer and Blake Lewick. Spencer under duress finds help in Dean Rummaker. Ball knocked loose, and it will roll out of bounds. Centennial will take over. Rodriguez, who scored the last goal for the Cougars, doesn't always score a lot, but he does have 5 hat tricks. But now we're headed the other way. Here's Lewick. Winded up, but I think Noah Berger got the stick check in there to knock the ball loose. It will stay with Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Pass back into the midfield, and that is a midfield violation. I wanted to say backcourt, but we don't use courts in this sport. But you get the idea. Over and back. That's how they call it. Over and back. I'm a slow learner, folks. 35 seconds, and again, no shot clock, so Centennial can opt to hold for the final shot if they wish. Sherman looking to shake off his defender. 18 seconds. lot of patience for Sherman. That's not easy to do with time winding down. Stick check, ball knocked loose. Sherman picks it up, but he's got 8 seconds. Now he's got to move. They've got to hurry. 3 seconds, and they're not going to get a shot off here. Centennial decides to run out the clock, and they'll take a 3-1 lead heading into the second quarter. As we bring you high school boys lacrosse on North Metro TV, we'd like to thank all of you watching this on demand on the North Metro TV airwaves and the North Metro TV YouTube channel. That is where you'll find all of our spring sports postseason coverage, including a game that we hope to bring you tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, based on our time, when you watch this game, it will have already happened most likely. But as we said, Centennial, softball, they host a game tomorrow. Softball and baseball, their playoffs are underway. With this quarter break, another senior we'd like to highlight is number 22, Matthew Everson. His favorite food, pizza. His theme song, Without Me by Eminem. His hidden talent, he is an elite level tuber on both water and snow surfaces. You name it, I can tube on it. He will play Division I lacrosse next year at Loyola, Maryland, and major in business. His favorite memory, going to the state tournament in his freshman year. His words of wisdom, always put in the extra work, and every day you get to be on that field is a privilege. Don't take any of it for granted. I don't know if someone had a birthday today, but it feels like one for the seniors. Before the game, they took part in a signing, and the youth players are doing that, and they may do a similar signing event after the game. I talked with a couple of the parents who helped put the youth night festivities together, and the hope behind that is to build the pipeline, create that culture, to get the younger players inspired and motivated to take the field when their time comes up, when it's their turn to play. We flip the field for each quarter, as you know, in boys lacrosse. That pass goes offline, and that will be a turnover on Centennial, as Sherman couldn't haul in the pass from Adams. And in this sport, the momentum can turn in a hurry. We've seen teams have scoreless quarters and then bounce their way back. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids got the first goal, but that was it. They have a chance to add to that tally here, but Lechner has other ideas, swatting away the shot from Dean Rumaker. Again, Lechner, .565 save percentage. Spring Lake Park's goalie, Tommy Skramstad, .555 save percentage. Record about even. Lechner has the lower goals allowed average. And we're going to have a penalty on Centennial. Spencer, shot deflected. Spring Lake Park trying to scoop it up. And Centennial touches it, and we'll have our first penalty. The scores table is on the opposite end of the field, so I can't exactly tell you what the penalty is for. But it will give Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids the man up, the lacrosse equivalent of the power play for the next few moments. Left. Centering pass. Off speed shot goes off the post and into the stick of number 24. His outlet pass caroms off the target. Reese Littlefield, I think, was looking for Sherman, but his outlet pass caromed off a player. Spring Lake Park, Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. Say that 5 times fast. Gets another chance, and Owen Spencer scores on the wraparound. He was set up by left. You don't see that often. Usually, it's the guy behind the net who sets up a play on offense. They pull the reverse and make it a 3-2 game. Leff will not get credit for the assist. He did set him up with the pass, but they determined Spencer made a Lacrosse move. In any event, a goal for Spencer, his 25th of the season, and it's a 1-goal game. Centennial wins the face-off there. Centennial answers back. You saw Bull Sherman biding his time, waiting for Centennial to run a play. Cooper Larson made a cut toward the net. Sherman hooks up with them, and the quick stick gives Centennial a 4-2 lead. Larson with his first goal of the game.
Scoring for Centennial,
his second of the season. Sherman, get this. This speaks to Centennial's versatility. They have 3 20-goal scorers, and those 3 players also have 11 assists or more. I believe Sherman will get credit for the assist there. But it's Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids who wins this face-off, and they'll have a chance to respond. Still in the second quarter. Centennial leads by 2. And this phase of the game may not be the most captivating when you're watching players pass it around, but this is where strategy comes into play. This is a chess match on the turf. Spencer keeps that in bounds. So when you see players idling, it's not because they're looking to slack off. Spencer with the sidearm, Lechner with the save. And Centennial takes over. Oh, the pass is offline, a turnover on the defensive side for Centennial. Spring Lake Park, Lewick, that shot was saved by Lechner, and he falls on it. Steal! It's Lewick again! Persistence pays off, and Lewick with his second goal of the game. Blake Lewick, reminding everyone of his potency on offense. And that opportunity was possible. Centennial had 2 turnovers on the defensive side, including 1 from Lechner just as he got a save against Lewick. Blake skied up, stole the pass, and you get 1 shot at him. 1 shot to stop him, that is. You don't often get 2. It's 4-3. So we're seeing some miscues on both sides come into play as far as scoring opportunities go, and got ourselves an intense battle between conference rivals. Loose ball. We saw a mad scrum for it. A lot of swinging, a lot of checking. But these players are used to it As you might have picked up on with one of our profiles, there are quite a few lacrosse hockey crossovers. I don't know which one they prefer. I guess I prefer the outdoor version, lacrosse, because it's usually warmer. Although we still get some cold spells in April, but it's usually warmer than a hockey rink indoors. So we'll see how Centennial answers this. We have 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's a 4-3 game, and still plenty of time. As we were saying, just because you have a rough quarter doesn't mean you're out of the running in this sport. Here's Rodriguez, the one hopper, and it's batted away by Skramstad. The wraparound goes off the net. That was Brohl Sherman. Centennial keeps the ball. Sherman, the setup man, looked to hook up with Logan Adams. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids deflects that pass and takes over. Now again, there is a time limit to move the ball across midfield. Keep that in mind as the game moves along, but Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids look to get a transition chance going, and I believe the ball ricocheted off the post or off somebody, but it's Spring Lake Park ball, as that was ruled a shot on goal. Tucker Anderson took a chance in transition. Centennial takes over the ball as Reese Littlefield swooped in. And he takes a couple of bumps, and we'll have another timeout here. Took a couple of bumps from Dean Rumacher, and we'll have a timeout. Breaking the action with 4:41 to go. Centennial with a 4-3 lead. Gives us a chance to highlight a few more players, like Logan Holman. His favorite food is steak and ice cream. I presume he eats them separately. I don't know if he does a steak and ice cream sandwich. I don't know how well that would go. Doesn't have a specific theme song, but he's been known to bust a move on the field when the music plays. His hidden talent, he loves to fish, whether it's in the ice, the lake, or the ocean. I should say on the ice. If you fish in the ice, you're in trouble. He'll spend the summer fishing, staying local, and enroll in a trade school. I will also have to learn to golf better. It seems that a lot of guys in their 20s spend time golfing. I was not one of them, but sound logic to me. His words of wisdom, it goes by way faster than you think. I did not spend a lot of time golfing in my 20s. I spent a lot of time at games, though. Spent all of my 20s covering the WNBA, high school ball, college ball. I did work as a caddy for one summer, though, at a golf course that no longer exists. Way back in the days before even MySpace was a thing. No social media, no iPhones, no TikTok, no metaverse. I know, we lived in the day of dinosaurs. We return to action with 4:25 left in the second quarter. Centennial with the ball, they have the 4-3 lead. Cross, shot, and Skramstad with the save. Sherman had a good look. Noah Berger with a good feed. But Skramstad gets the stop. Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids on the move. And they'll back off. And this is where that chess match comes into play. Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids spreads out the offense. You're free to use the entire half of the field. As you saw earlier, you can't backtrack once you cross the midfield line, but you're welcome to take as much time as you need and use as much field as you need. Here's Romaker, who has seen his share of touches already. To Spencer, and this is where the strategy gets interesting. Spencer to Lewick, shot deflected. Loose ball is scooped by Kai Hermison. Give and go route. Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids intervenes. Hugh Everson won't get a shot on goal there. 2:25 left in the second quarter. The outlet pass intercepted by Rodriguez. He's got a full head of steam. That shot ricochets off. I believe Scramstead got a piece of it, but Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids can exhale nonetheless, at least for the moment. Rodriguez. That shot goes high as he dished it to Noah Berger. Centennial will hang on to it. 1:37 again. The clock stops whenever there's a stoppage in play in boys lacrosse, so Centennial can take a moment and get themselves reset. Berger fires. And Centennial will try this again. And again, the clock stops and the ball rolls out of bounds. Berger this time, the passing route. Sherman holding the fort behind the net. It was Logan Adams who took a swing. This is Berger. Less than a minute. Centennial holding on to a 4-3 lead. We saw them run out the clock in the first quarter. Rodriguez. His shot might have been disrupted just as he launched it. Centering pass to Rodriguez. Offline. Some more pushing takes place between Rodriguez and Zeman. Rodriguez came close to the crease. The black circle around the net. Centennial will hang on to the ball though. They have 32 seconds. That shot goes wide right. 30 seconds now. Centennial far more aggressive at the end of the second quarter, not laying back like they did at the end of the first quarter. They are taking a shot at anything that looks open, as Cooper Larson just did. But when you know you've got somebody behind the net, you can take as many shots as you want because more than likely they'll hang on to the ball. And that's why you swing with it. Noah Berger, he was looking up the middle before. That time he goes in and gives Centennial a 2-goal lead with 6 seconds on the clock. I don't know if there will be enough time Spring Lake Park to mount a response, at least for this quarter, with the face-off pending. So Centennial with a fine, we'll call it 2-minute offense. A fine play, loose ball, and that will do it for the first half. Nobody's going to get control of it in time to do anything, but Centennial will hold a 5-3 lead at the halftime intermission, and the Youth Association will get a showcase for our halftime entertainment. We will take a break and share a few more stories about the soon-to-be graduating seniors from Centennial. The Cougars lead Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids, 5-3. You're watching high school boys lacrosse on North Metro TV.
North Metro TV News is your source for local stories. Highlighting the issues in your community, we bring you the news that's closer to home. Join us as we explore the stories all around us, every day at 2:30, 6:30, and 10:30.
The past comes alive at North Metro TV, where we can help you transfer your old videotapes, films, cassette tapes, record albums, and even photographs and slides to DVD and digital so you can enjoy them again. North Metro TV, bringing the past to life.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
I'll be seeing you.
No, the thing I've missed the most during this entire time, this pandemic, has been you.
I love playing to a live audience. There's nothing like it.
The COVID-19 vaccines are going to help us all get back to the moments we miss.
It's totally normal to have questions. I did too.
That's why it's so important to get informed.
So ask your doctor and get the facts. It's up to you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer.
Mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together.
And discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Wash your hands. Scrub them while you sing the song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
Once again, be sure to follow us on social media and on the TV airwaves for updates regarding our spring sports playoff coverage. And don't forget, graduation season is almost upon us as well. We've also got parades and the return, or I should say the continuation of the USA Cup in youth soccer. All of those events are coming your way in the weeks and months to come on North Metro TV. Mike Beaton with you as we get ready to start the second half. Centennial leads 5-3 over Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. Another senior we want to highlight as we continue our salute. Number 27, Evan Lechner, the Centennial goalie. Burgers and fries are his favorite food. His theme song, Run This Town by Jay-Z. He plays football and lacrosse. He will attend South Central College after he graduates. His words of wisdom: enjoy every minute hanging out with your buddies. And to recap the scoring, Centennial getting 5 goals from 5 different players: Sherman, Berger, Rodriguez, Larson, and Isaiah Ward. Blake Lewick has a pair of goals for Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. It's been back and forth. We've had some goals scored off of miscues, including Blake Lewick's second one. But a fairly even game, all things considered. Centennial, they were on a roll until they faced Benilde St. Margaret's, winning 9 straight. Again, they are hoping to finish the regular season 11-2. Spring Lake Park looking to end their regular season on a 5-game win streak. And that is what is at stake. It's also a last chance to pad the resume for section seating. Again, that information not up to date on Minnesota Scores, so it's hard to say who the favorites are in each of the sections. Bull Sherman tried to lunge his way in for a shot attempt, and he does get one because Centennial able to hang on to it. Centennial executed a nearly perfect 2-minute drill at the end of the second quarter, and they execute a fine play here on the solo effort by Logan Adams. He is the 6th different goal scorer in this game for the Cougars. Adams picks up his 11th goal of the season. 6 goals from 6 different players. And Centennial with their largest lead thus far. It's now 6-3. Saying Centennial, they were on a roll and then they dropped a close one with Anoka. So the Cougars, you have to think, would be in contention. This sport is growing. The sections, even though I can't tell you who the favorites are per se, we're seeing just about every section now field more than 8 teams. Some have as much as 12. Which leads me to believe it may not be long before this becomes a 2-class sport. If you're wondering, as we have a timeout, Centennial was under duress near the sideline. If you're wondering, based on my understanding, you need 96 teams to warrant 2 classes. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that would open the field up. With this timeout, let's continue our salute to seniors. There are plenty of them on this Centennial team. Jacob Long. His favorite food, omelets. He's number 19. His theme song is Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Hidden talents, he says, I have a lot of them and I don't hide any of them. He plans on going to trade school to learn pipe fitting. Favorite memory is when Caleb Schipple kicked Logan Holman in the face at the state tournament. I'm guessing that was between teammates. And his advice, stay hydrated, trust the process. We've seen Centennial embracing the timeouts in their pocket. You get, I think, 3 per half. They don't come up often, but anytime it looks like Centennial's in trouble, John Beach will use one of his timeouts, get them out of a jam. Certainly understandable, because even though his team's up by 3, we've seen this happen already. You don't want an unforced error, a miscue, that could lead to trouble. We saw that play out a couple of times between the two teams. A cool but dry evening for late May. Then again, as meteorologists will tell you, spring is a myth. As far as weather is concerned, it's either really cold or really hot. And in the case of May, we've had a little of both. April was mostly cold. But we didn't have any blizzards or crippling snowstorms. Centennial looking to coat themselves with one more win heading into postseason play. And again, girls and boys lacrosse hold their playoffs next week. Quick stick and a score. Berger with the dime, Sherman with the goal, and Sherman becomes the first multi-goal scorer in this game. He has 23 on the season.
Scoring for Centennial, number 2, Roll Sherman, the assist to number 3, Noah Berger.
Centennial extending their lead. It's now 7-3. Roll Sherman has a couple of hat tricks on the season, if you're wondering. He had back-to-back games with 5 goals, Plain and Osseo Park Center, another co-op in the Northwest Suburban. But that has been it, and for Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids, they have that dynamic player in Blake Lewick. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids had a hard time getting to run sets. Centennial has controlled the ball for a while, but Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids with that white bouncy ball here. Spencer faked the pass. Now he sends it up, centering pass. Lewick is there for the recovery. He trailed the play. Backing up, Dean Robaker. Robaker got hit. Lewick was there. And nobody was in his path. That allowed Lewick to launch another laser that rips the net. And I mean ripped. With that, Lewick picks up another hat trick. In a season filled with them. One more goal and he'll have 40 on the season. More importantly, it's 7-4. That was a goal Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids needed badly. Centennial wins the faceoff here. Lewick with his 4th straight hat trick. Centennial, they've answered quickly before, and Matthew Everson almost got another one. He loses a stick. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids on the run. But the pass goes out of bounds. Another miscue. Unforced errors have proven costly. So Centennial takes over. The midfield pylon got knocked over. Not quite like football, though. So you don't have to worry about someone hitting it or resetting it, because no one is lunging toward the sideline, or the end zone, that is. But Centennial catching a break. And they get to run an extended set here. I was going to say with Lewick, he has his 4th straight hat trick. And his 7th overall with that last score. This is Brock Carls. Goes low and sends a one-hopper into the net. Or did he? Yes, he did. Brock Carls with his 4th goal of the season, and he is now the 7th different goal scorer for the Cougars. We noted in the open, Centennial, they don't have that runaway big-time score like other teams do, but they have a group of players who can put the ball in the net. And they have several 10-goal games. They're on pace for another one. So they spread it around. And Centennial will take over on the foul called against Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. And what this game is coming down to, Centennial controlling possession time, but their depth is winning out against Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. Now, Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids, a few of their losses, they were right in it too. Anoka and Hastings were 2-goal defeats. They struggled a little more against Rogers and Maple Grove, but they're no pushover. Now Centennial throws it away. Isaiah Ward couldn't field the pass from Kellen Crumweed. And this is the break that Spring Lake Park could use. There's still time. We still have about a quarter and a half to go. But Centennial looking like the more fluid team. A deflection, and remember, they got to get the ball across in a certain amount of time. I believe it's 30 seconds. And they do. But look at that, Reese Littlefield swoops in on a soft pass and swipes it away, which means Centennial run another set. And they've done a good job at that in this one. Centering pass, shot from Ward is wide left. And Broll Sherman instinctively darts toward the ball to make sure he's the closest. The kick out. And the move by Tyson Bouts. Doesn't pay off there. And we're going to have a foul on Owen Spencer. He just bowled over Kellen Crumweed. That might have been a legal blocking move in football, but not in lacrosse. He just ran him over. Another turnover in Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids, just when it looks like they get the stop they need. And they've had a few of them. They undo their efforts with plays like that. You're allowed some leeway with the ball, but you can't just run your defender over. That shot from Berger is off the mark. Centennial will hang on to it. 2:51 on the clock. Centennial leads 8-4 in the regular season finale. And another passing error on Centennial, so Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids will get the ball near midfield. And as you can see, they waste little time. But they'll back off and run a set, not enough to pursue a transition look. But these are the chances that Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids need to pounce on if they want to stage an upset win. How much of an upset, I don't know. But it would give them a boost of confidence heading into sections. That much I can tell you. Spencer looked for Lewick. And that will be Centennial ball as it crossed the midfield line before Lewick could get there. He sent a player to the turf. So I don't know if it would have been their ball anyway. And Lewick looks like he might be having a word with Reese Littlefield as the two of them wait their turn. And that's because, again, only 6 to a side. A prime opportunity for Centennial. The sidearm shot from Logan Adams is deflected by Scramstad, but Centennial will hang on to it. A prime chance for Centennial to extend their lead, and they will on the wraparound by Broll Sherman. Sherman with the hat trick, his third of the season, and Centennial with a 5-goal lead. So on senior night, it's the sophomore making a splash. And Centennial pulling away. Like we said, in this sport, you can absorb one bad quarter, but this could be the turning point in this game. If Centennial goes on to win this third quarter that they have controlled. Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids, they've had their share of chances, but they haven't been able to sustain possessions the way Centennial has. They'll get the ball following the face-off. Rummaker absorbing stick checks from Everson. 43 seconds. How does Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids approach this? You hope for the final shot? Centennial has other ideas as the ball goes loose again. Still up for grabs. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids recovers, but that ate up a few seconds of clock. 13 seconds. Rummaker gotta get going here. Shakes off his defender. Launches one from deep. And fielded by Lechner. That will take us to the end of the period. A convincing one for the Cougars of Centennial as they extend their lead, outscoring Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids 4-1 in the frame. They lead 9-4 as they look to end the regular season with back-to-back wins. They beat Robbinsdale Armstrong last night. With that, let's share some more senior nuggets with you. Lars Gerlitz. Favorite food is Mama P's Beef Stroganoff with Parmesan cheese. Theme song, When You're Hot by Jerry Reed. He has played in the Centennial Band for 6 years. He started on euphonium and quickly switched to tuba for a challenge and have been rocking it ever since. He also plans to explore the trade school route and see what they have to offer. His favorite memory was sandwiching a kid during a rain game. And his words of wisdom, cherish these years playing with friends. Another one. We got to go down the line for this one. Matthew Picorni, number 77. Plays a lot of JV. Favorite food is seafood, more specifically coconut shrimp. His theme song, Jumpman by Drake. I'm good at making friends with anybody, no matter their age. He will be attending the Carlson School of Management at the University of Minnesota to study finance. It has been his dream for forever, as he put it. His favorite lacrosse memory was his first year going 24-0 and winning both tournaments. We faced the other Centennial team in the Summer Sizzle and beat them in overtime. And we have a couple more we will share with you as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Centennial with a 9-4 lead. A win here would put them at 11-2 for the regular season. Just one penalty on Centennial, and that's been it. The game has certainly been physical, as we've seen, but just one penalty. And a reminder that this is the final game of the regular season. For lacrosse, we will have postseason coverage to follow next week. In fact, we have postseason baseball and softball going on. And there is another example of the obstacles Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids have endured. These unforced errors, trying to move the ball upfield, and they throw it away. And it's hard to build a rally, hard to get momentum on your side when that happens. That has allowed Centennial to control possession. They have a comfortable lead here. Rodriguez. Did that cross the line? It did. It bounced in and then out of the net, but it crossed the goal line. That is what matters. Rodriguez with his second goal of the game, number 27 on the year. And a fitting time to highlight his profile in the media guide. Sam Rodriguez, the senior. Favorite food, tacos. His theme song, Gasolina by Daddy Yankee. Hidden talent, I'm insanely good at the game of volleyball. Center court, you name it, and I can set, serve, and spike. He will continue his education and lacrosse career at Jacksonville University. His words of wisdom, 30 minutes of wall ball every day will bring you a long way. I don't know, did he come up with that on the fly, or did he think of it ahead of time? Well, I'm sure if boys volleyball becomes a sport, and we're getting close, it's still a club sport. It fell one vote shy of being a sanctioned high school league sport, much to the consternation of volleyball supporters and media members. But it sounds like Rodriguez would have a second career, but he's going to continue his lacrosse career at Jacksonville University. But maybe he has a second wind in him as a beach volleyball athlete or court volleyball athlete. He said, no matter the surface, bring it, I'm ready. The extra pass leads to the one-timer from Noah Berger to Isaiah Ward, and Ward with the second goal of the game. And you know what? He was the last entry in our list of seniors, so a fitting time to share his story. His favorite food, chicken and rice. Theme song, Getting Jiggy With It by Will Smith. I know that theme song slaps. He's a football and lacrosse athlete. He will be attending Bethel University next year, not too far from here actually. Up in Arden Hills, a little east of here, to further his education and play football. His words of wisdom: enjoy every practice and game because the season goes by quick. So Isaiah Ward, you can catch him in the neighborhood as Centennial leads 11-4. And has wrapped up this game, at least by my estimation, barring some crazy run, and looks like we have a flag. I saw a piece of gear fly off, and the officials concluding that Everson may be getting a little too reachy with Owen Spencer, so a delayed penalty on the Cougars. That will give Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids the man up, unless they score here. Oh, nice move! What a give and go! Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids needing a little more of that, but they'll take it. Tucker Anderson gets on the board. That was a beauty of a give and go play. And Everson will still serve the penalty. So Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids gets the goal, and they will have a man up for a short while. Anderson with his 11th goal of the year. Ian Pollard is the head coach. I haven't mentioned that. Wanted to make sure we got that in for the broadcast. And Tucker Anderson gives Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids a much needed boost. 11-5 is the score, so we have another delayed penalty. Nope, I thought it was a delayed penalty, but there was no flag. Instead, it's Centennial ball. So they will play 5-on-6 until Everson completes the penalty. But shorthanded goals are doable. And Centennial with plenty of room to work with. Seven different goal scorers. And one hat trick coming from Broll Sherman, his third of the year. Noah Berger changing directions. And Centennial electing to ride out the penalty. We're back at full strength. Centennial in the Catbird seat here, up by 6. But Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids showing a little more feistiness on defense. Number 2 fires from deep. That's David Jeebley. We haven't called his name in a while. Gutsy move on his part, but Tucker Anderson was there to ensure it stays with Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. We have seen that where either the face-off specialist or defender moves the length of the field. You can do that. The rule is 6 on a side, but there's no specification as to which 6. But when you're trailing and need a goal, find your centerpiece, find the anchor, and batten down the hatches. Because Blake Lewick is sending rockets to the opposing team. He delivers another one for his 4th goal of the game to make it 11-6. And with that, Lewick goes to 40 goals on the season. And that keeps his streak of 4 goals or more in the last 4 games intact. He had 4 against Blaine, 4 against Latino Grace, and 8 in that 11-10 win over Robbinsdale Armstrong. It's not often. Usually when you get 8 goals like that, it's in a runaway win and everything's going your way. No, Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids needed every last one. They win the face-off, and they'll use one of their timeouts with 7:13 left in the game. And a reminder that if you want to stay up to date on all the programming and events in the North Metro area, you can follow us on social media, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we're there. We often share stories and updates involving our cities, Blaine, Centennial, and Circle Pines, Spring Lake Park. As we noted before, we have graduations, parades, and the USA Cup all coming up. The USA Cup, one of the biggest youth events on the calendar in the state of Minnesota. Wall-to-wall soccer action at the National Sports Center in Blaine. (11-6) is the score. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids has a little more work ahead of them if they wish to stage a rally. And looking at sections, okay, now they're up to date. They weren't originally, but it looks like we're caught up now. Centennial, based on QRF, would be the favorite in Section 7. But remember, Anoka did get the victory against them in the season opener, so it's not a guarantee. Spring Lake Park makes it an 11-7 game. Thanks to, who else? Lake Lewick. And a fitting segue because Spring Lake Park, if they go by QRF, Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids would be seated 3rd. Some other teams who could pose a challenge, Irondale, they are having a tremendous season. Benilde St. Margaret's leads the state in QRF. They are one of the perennials. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids wins another face-off. And now a rally is within reach. It looked like Centennial was going to pull away after scoring a pair early. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids with the sun starting to peak finds their fortunes brightening by the minute. Lewick again. Lake Lewick is simply en fuego. And Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids burning with desire to earn a comeback victory. Lake Lewick with 6 goals, and now it's 11-8. 6:17 to go. If you're Ian Pollard, this game is within reach, especially if you continue winning face-offs. We've seen that time and again. If you win the face-off, you control the tempo. You dictate the action. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids determined not to let the sun set on their hopes of victory, but you can't afford a miscue like that. An overpass intended for Spencer. Lewick motions to himself and says, my bad, accepting responsibility for that. That's a break Centennial needed, though. Again, they still lead by 3, so you don't need to bite the nails yet, but Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids is lurking. Now Centennial can use as much time as they wish. I'd like to think they'll try to get one more, get that insurance goal. They still lead by 3, but they just witnessed how quickly Blake Lewick brought his team back in it. Defensive hustle on the part of Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. Almost got another turnover, but Henry Lev couldn't spot the ball. He lost sight of it. Another break for Centennial, and a score! Noah Berger leaked in front of everybody, and there was no stopping him. Berger with the second goal of the game. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids is stunned. And I believe Rodriguez gets credit for the assist. Noah Berger got in front, and that was set up. Again, Henry Leff, it looked like he had the turnover in hand. He had the stop. He had position, but lost sight of the ball, didn't spot it. Rodriguez, I believe, was able to retrieve it. And amidst the chaos, Berger got out in front and gives Centennial a much-needed insurance goal. They win the face-off here. That is how quickly the momentum can turn. It looked like Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids had one last gasp within them, and had Lev found the ball, that very well could have been the case. But now Centennial can work the clock. As you see Brock Carl's doing, laying way back in the offensive side of the field. Now Rodriguez has it, dodges his defender with the spin move. His shot goes wide, but Centennial was closest to the ball. Now, a reminder, the clock does stop anytime there's a stoppage in play. Here's Ward. He lost it. But nobody in the vicinity for Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids to scoop it up. Ball is loose again. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids, if they want to get one last shot, that's what they need. They need a mistake. They have to pounce on a mistake. Centennial, they bobble the ball a little bit. But Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids, if they see the loose ball, they have to pursue it. Rodriguez, though, exhibiting his control. Like we said, he is a volleyball enthusiast and a lacrosse extraordinaire. He picks up a hat trick, and Centennial, I'd say, has locked this one up with 3:05 left. Sammy Rodriguez with the solid use of the spin move to get around defenders. And Rodriguez goes 28 goals on the season. Centennial appears to have staved off a scare. And with that last goal, Sammy Rodriguez earns his 6th hat trick of the season. So it's going to be another fine performance out of Brock Lewick, but it looks like Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids will come up short. They made things interesting with a 3-goal burst earlier in the 4th, but I think that 3rd quarter where Centennial outscored Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids 4-1, I think that was the difference here as Lewick takes a shot from deep. Centennial able to defuse the situation. I think the 3rd quarter was the turning point. Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids had a couple more things gone their way. Who knows? Again, another turning point perhaps was a few minutes ago when Henry left. Looked like he got the deflection and had a turnover within his reach, but he lost sight of the ball. It bounced behind them. And Rodriguez was able to hook up with Noah Berger and get a goal in Centennial's column, an insurance goal that effectively put this game out of reach. How about that recovery by Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids? The game might be out of reach, but don't tell that to Harrison Koval. The pass was a little off the mark. He was able to track down the loose ball, scoop it up, and send it in. When you have a chaos situation like that, it's harder for goalies to make a read. So you don't know if Koval was going to get control of that ball or not. He did just in time, and he gets on the board. Koval with the 16th goal of the year, but time is not on the side of Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids. They have 90 seconds roughly. And so you'd have to win a series of face-offs and race down the field. But they get a stop. A foul was called on Rodriguez, and remember, that stops the clock until the action or till the players are reset. But Centennial gets the ball right back, and they can get out of here with a win in hand. The Cougars will win this edition of the Cat Clash. And with that, Centennial will earn the status as kings of the Cat Clashes. They beat Blaine earlier this season 11-4, so they are the undisputed Cat Clash king, at least in the regular season. The postseason is a whole different animal, as we've seen many times before. Owen Spencer with the shot. Lechner fields it for the save. Centennial started the game trailing. They gave up the first goal of the game to Spencer, but after that they took over and did not look back. That key 3rd quarter gave them the separation, and then another key goal by Noah Berger when Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids was mounting a challenge. Another turning point. Centennial will run out the clock and end the regular season with their 11th victory. 13-9, the final. 2 hat tricks from the Cougars, Roel Sherman and Sammy Rodriguez, and Blake Lewick putting up 6 goals. He will finish the regular season with 42. Remember, postseason does count in the stat categories for all the athletes. A fun way to end the regular season and a fun send-off for senior night for Centennial. Once again, if you are watching this on our channels or on demand on YouTube, follow us for postseason coverage as Lacrosse begins section play next week. We also have baseball and softball coverage coming your way over the next several weeks. With that, it's time to bid farewell. Until we meet again, Centennial beats Spring Lake Park Coon Rapids 13-9. For everyone on our North Metro TV crew, I'm Mike Eden. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.